So in my presentation, I'm going to try to explain the rationale behind those policies in terms of where we are coming from, where we are going, and where we are today. Let me also say that I was happy to see that the University of Zimbabwe is developing very well. When I left this institution, this building was not here. I was shocked that the university, there is a lot of paving right now. The university is very clean and up to standard, which shows that yes, we have got challenges in the economy, but also the economy is doing very well. Okay, so my presentation today, I'll first of all highlight the positives in the economy. Then I'll also highlight some challenges in the economy. Then I will then go to the policies, what we are doing to try and resolve some of the challenges facing the economy, and how those policies are going to move us from the current austerity to prosperity, and whether we are going to reach to that stage. And I assure you that we are going to reach there. So on my first slide, I am going to talk about the state of the economy, looking at the positives, where we are today. And I have used a term there to say nowcast, which is different from forecast. Forecast, we are looking at going forward. Then nowcast, we are looking now, where we are now. That's the nowcast. So where are we? We are saying the economy is in a transition phase and is yet to fully adjust and realize the full benefits of austerity and recent monetary policy measures. We have recently announced the monetary policy in February. We are yet to realize its full benefits, and we hope that it was a move in the right direction. And this was also even acknowledged by our critics, like the IMF, who always criticize us. But this time they've acknowledged that what we have done is actually a move in the right direction. And we hope that going forward, these new policies are going to take us somewhere. Then when we look at economic activity, what we are seeing currently or now is that economic activity is still robust, despite the challenges. Last year we recorded a growth of around 4%, although it may be revised to around 6%, since we are now changing the statistics from US dollar to the new RTGS dollar. 2019, there are still some challenges, but these challenges are mainly emanating from the climate shocks. We know that this year we experienced a drought, also we experienced the cyclone and so on. Then we are also experiencing subdued aggregate demand, because prices are now beyond the reach of most people. So it is now a challenge. Most people are no longer affording basic goods, and if that is sustained, it will affect aggregate demand, and that will have a ripple effect on the economy. So we are worried that the low aggregate demand in the economy will weigh down on the outlook for 2019. But we are also confident that those challenges are being resolved, and 2019 may not be as bad as what most people are thinking. Then in terms of what we have introduced recently, the RTGS dollars, we are happy that the RTGS dollar is working smoothly as the official settlement and unit of account. So most of the transactions, especially on the formal, informal shops, they are actually happening, and people are using the RTGS dollar as the unit of account and also as a settlement account. Although we also have some few shops and those who are in the informal sector who are still to understand the rationale of this new policy, who are still trying to resist. But going forward, we know that as confidence improves, the use of RTGS dollar is going to be embraced by the majority, by almost everyone in the economy. So in terms of the use of RTGS dollar, we are also happy that all bank balances, national statistics, accounting books, they are now in RTGS dollars. So it's a transition. We have moved from the US dollar, we are now recording in terms of the RTGS dollars. Then in terms of the interbank foreign exchange, we are also happy that the interbank foreign exchange is picking up. When we started, there were a few challenges based on where we were coming from. Because we were coming from a situation whereby we had pipeline payments. So when we started the interbank foreign exchange market, there were more buyers compared to sellers. So as a result, it may seem as if the interbank is not functioning, but because we are starting, whenever you are starting something, we have more people coming in to buy than those who are selling. So that was the initial problem at the start. But we are happy that where we are now, the interbank foreign exchange is picking up, and we are also happy that we are seeing exports starting to grow, and also other foreign currency receipts are growing. Then in terms of inflation, we are also seeing that pressure is decelerating. I will come to this in more detail. I know this is a contentious issue, but I will come into it later on, and I will show you why we think that inflation pressure is actually decelerating. We are also happy that goods are still available in shops. Unlike in the 2007-2008, where we had shortages of basic commodities. That time I saw there was a WhatsApp circulating which was saying in 2008, 500 people were queuing for bread, which was costing 230 billion. But now bread is available and it's $3.50. So goods are still available, but the issue is about demand. The issue is about affordability, which I will come into detail when I talk to the pricing dynamics. Why we think the pricing dynamics are not the correct ones, and this is what is causing a low aggregate demand in the economy. Then the next slide. On the next slide, I will then look on the other side of the coin, which are the challenges in the economy. The major challenge we are facing as Zimbabwe, I will call it the first one, is negativity. Zimbabweans we now have a challenge that we are negative on almost everything. There are people who even wish that if things would even get worse than what they are. It's now a challenge that we also call upon the church to help people to have hope on the economy as well, because most people are now just negative on everything. Even when we introduce the RTGS dollar, there are other people who are wishing that no, this thing must not work. It's just negative, but this is our economy. This is the only country that we have. So we must have hope, we must trust, we must have confidence on what we do as a country. So we are also experiencing low levels of confidence. There is also speculation and what I can call short-termism. Then we are also witnessing low economic growth, especially this year. Last year growth was fine, but this year we are likely to have low economic growth because of the challenges that I have mentioned. Then also we are having shortages of foreign exchange. As a country, we are not producing enough, especially exportable goods. We are only relying on very few products. If you look at our exports, it's mainly about 4 or 5 commodities, which is gold, platinum, tobacco, and ferrochrome. These are the main foreign currency generating products in this economy. So we need, as highlighted, we need to go into value addition and so on, so that we improve on our exports. So we are having this challenge of shortage of foreign currency because we are not producing enough as a country. If we were producing to the levels, especially our exports, if we were producing to the levels like what Zambia is doing, if you look at Zambia, their exports, they range around 10 billion per year. But if you look at Zimbabwe, we have been average exports of around 3.5 billion. But last year we did very well, where our exports, I think they reached around 4.8 billion. So we are on the right track. We are actually doing very well, but we need to increase that effort so that we have more foreign currency in the economy. Then another challenge we are facing is a lack of adequate finance in the form of external lines of credit. Since 2001, Zimbabwe has not been in a position to access loans from traditional multilateral creditors and bilateral creditors. We have never received loans from the IMF, from the World Bank, and African Development Bank because of the sanctions that were imposed on the country. So as a result, you find that we have been constrained in terms of access to foreign finance. We have been relying mainly from our friends China, which has been providing us with the loans, but you also know the challenge with China when they provide credit to you. They normally bring goods instead of bringing the actual money in the economy. Then also we have been relying on other commercial creditors where the interest rates are very high compared to interest rates that we get from institutions like World Bank and African Development Bank. Then also when you compare the level of foreign direct investment in Zimbabwe, we have been averaging, I think, around 400, 500 million per year. But if you compare to other countries in the region, they have been averaging over 2 billion in terms of foreign direct investment. So that has been a perennial constraint. Then now we are witnessing challenges relating to exchange rate volatility and also parallel market activities. It's something that we are trying to correct. Then again, we have been facing balance of payments deficit exacerbated by lack of BOP support from international lenders. So the challenges we are facing, especially on balance of payments, if we successfully re-engage with international creditors, especially the IMF, that's the role of the IMF. The role of the IMF is to provide funds for balance of payments purposes. That is, if you are facing foreign currency shortages, they will come in and provide foreign currency so that you will be able to sort out your balance of payments. Normally, they don't provide funds for development. I know most people, they make that mistake to say IMF should give us funds for development. They only provide funds for balance of payments. That is, if you are facing a foreign currency shortages. Then we have also been experiencing external payment arrears dating back to 1999. So from 1999, we have been failing to settle our external obligations. And our external obligations, they have increased from around 109 million in 2001 to current levels which are above 5 billion. So it's a challenge, but government is actually taking action to try to resolve those external payment arrears through re-engagement with international financial institutions. Then of course, we still have infrastructure deficit and inadequate supply of electricity, where we are relying also on imports. So these are some of the challenges we are facing as a country. Then on the next slide, I have put here price formation and parallel market exchanges to try and understand what is really happening in terms of the pricing dynamics in the economy. As central bank, we are also not happy about the pricing dynamics we are witnessing in the country. What we have noted is that most of the inflation that we are seeing is not mainly due to the fundamentals that actually drive inflation, but it is due to speculation, it is due to what we call adverse inflation expectations. And we have calculated using our models that we use in the bank that about 80% of the variation in prices in this economy is mainly due to speculative behavior, it's due to adverse inflation expectations, as opposed to the fundamentals which drives prices, notably aggregate supply, aggregate demand conditions in the economy. So we have noted the 4 channels that are influencing price dynamics in this economy. The first channel, which has now been resolved and government is committed to maintain that stance, is the fiscal deficit. From 2015 up to 2017, government is incurring a very huge fiscal deficit, and that deficit was being financed through overdrafts from the central bank. So each time when government comes to the central bank to borrow, the central bank creates money. So it results in excessive money printing. So whenever there is excessive money, it will lead to inflation. So there is that recognition on the part of government that the challenges we are facing in terms of inflation previously were caused by fiscal deficits. That's why they are committed to fiscal consolidation. So that channel where I'm saying that graph, fiscal deficit feeding into increased demand supply, feeding into high demand for foreign exchange, then feeding into higher premiums, which then feeds into higher prices. That's the first channel. Then the second channel, which we've also witnessed, is pricing of goods and taxes in foreign currency. So for those who are still charging in foreign currency, what it means is that if you want to buy something which is being priced in foreign currency, it means you are also putting pressure on demand for foreign exchange. So when there is pressure for foreign exchange, it also leads into higher premiums, and those premiums are also translating into higher prices. So it's also something that we are also concerned about. Then the issue of imported goods. As a country, as I've highlighted, we are not producing enough. We are relying more on imported products. So each time we import, it means we have to demand foreign currency. So when you demand foreign currency, there is also more pressure on foreign currency, which will also translate into exchange rate depreciation or higher premiums, which will then feed again into higher domestic prices. Then the last channel is uncertainty on the exchange rate. We are coming from a situation whereby we had the one-to-one exchange rate, but the parallel market had moved far from that one-to-one relationship. So there was uncertainty on where the exchange rate was going. So as a result, that was actually leading to speculative pricing feeding directly into higher prices. But loosely speaking, we could also say those are firms which were charging higher prices. It was on the anticipation that this could result in higher revenues for them, although it's not happening as they anticipate. But for those who have realized higher revenues, we find that the same revenue finds its way again into the parallel market, leading into higher demand for foreign exchange, then higher premiums and also higher domestic prices. So as government, as central bank, this is what we are trying now to correct. For example, the issue of fiscal deficit, I have highlighted that government is taking measures to address this through fiscal consolidation. That is the austerity we are talking about. Then the issue of pricing of goods and services in foreign currency. This is among one of the objectives in our recent monetary policy. That is the introduction of the RTGS dollar. I will talk about that in detail. Then the issue of huge import bill. We are also undertaking demand management measures through the interbank, where we are thinking that with the interbank exchange rate, we are going to switch expenditure from imports towards the domestically produced goods. Then in terms of uncertainty, we are also trying to emphasize on confidence building measures so that we reduce this uncertainty, which is feeding into higher markups and hence domestic prices. Now going to what we are witnessing in terms of inflation, the next slide. We noted that inflation up to September 2017, inflation was very low, I think around 5%, although we were also coming from a period of deflation, which we experienced between 2014 up to 2017. But in October 2018, there was a sharp increase in inflation, as you can see from that graph. So that sharp increase was not due to fundamentals that drives inflation. It was mainly due to misunderstanding by the public of the policies that were announced by government. Remember, that was the time when the 2% tax was introduced. That was the time when the separation of the US dollar and the RTGS accounts were made. So people didn't understand maybe the rationale of those policies. So there was panic, there was a shock in the economy. As a result, we saw parallel exchanges going up and also prices going up. So as a result, it resulted in that sharp increase in inflation. And that is why we are saying that sharp increase was mainly due to adverse inflation expectations, not necessarily linked to fundamentals. But what we are witnessing is that inflationary pressure is receding. Why? Because that higher inflation which we are witnessing now is not necessarily because inflation is high, but it is because of the way inflation is computed. Normally, inflation is computed from what we call consumer price index. So because that index went up in October 2018, we were now comparing the higher CPI index with the lower CPI index in 2017. Even currently, we are comparing the already higher CPI index for 2019 and the lower CPI index for all the months in 2018 when inflation was low. So you find that inflation will sort of like remain a little bit higher up to September, October. So you shall see on the graph where I look at the forecast that inflation will significantly fall in October after the base effect. So now we are mainly concerned about the month-on-month inflation, and we are happy that the month-on-month inflation is actually receding from higher levels of around 16% that we recorded in October. Then in February, month-on-month was around 1.67%. Then in March it was 4.4%. So this month-on-month inflation is far from the hyperinflationary levels. Normally when you are in a hyperinflationary environment, the month-on-month inflation will be around above 50%. So in 2007, 2008, when we entered hyperinflation, month-on-month inflation was increasing by over 50% on a monthly basis. So we are very far away from the 2007, 2008 episode. I know some people are saying, are we not going back to the 2007, 2008? The answer is we are far away from that and we are not going back there. So we are saying the significant decline in monthly inflation since October is a positive development, and it's a signal that inflationary pressures in the economy are dissipating. Then on the next slide, it's also to give you comfort why inflation is receding. So if you look at quarterly annualized inflation, which we use as an indicator of inflation going forward, if you look at that graph, you see that quarterly annualized inflation has been declining consistently since December 2018. So what it means is that we expect that inflation in the short to medium term is going to fall down significantly. That is what that indicator shows. So we are quite confident that going forward by year end, we are going to reduce inflation significantly. So we are not worried about the current high level we are witnessing, because it's mainly of the base effect and it's all mainly because of adverse inflation expectations. But going forward, we hope that inflation will be anchored to lower levels. Now, again, looking at what was driving money supply inflation, that is our money supply. As central bank, we have taken a strong stance towards liquidity management, or maybe containing money supply. We are implementing what we call a monetary targeting framework. I will talk about it in detail later on. But if you look at the trend of money supply, our money supply has been going down. If you look at the last peak, which was in July 2018, you find that money supply growth was going down. But there is a small reversal that you are seeing there. We are not worried about that small reversal. It's not an increase in money supply. That small reversal is due to the revaluation that was done in February. When we moved from US dollar to the RTGS dollar, in the banks, there were still some people with nostril balances. So those nostril balances, for recording purposes, they are now being recorded in RTGS dollars. So the nostril deposits were multiplied by the new exchange rate. So if you add that now to money supply, because our money supply is loosely speaking equal to total deposits in the banking sector. So now, because we have revalued the nostril deposits, it seems as if there is a slight change or slight reversal in the downward trend in money supply. But it's not that money supply is increased, it's just due to the revaluation. So the trend is a downward trend, notwithstanding that revaluation that occurred as a result of the new policy. So we are happy that money supply growth is on a downward trend. And when money supply is going down, it's a point also that inflation will go down. I know economic students will agree with me here that according to Friedman, inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon. And we've also noted that in the reserve bank that inflation and money supply, they move on a one-to-one basis. So whenever money supply increases by 1%, you find that inflation also moves by almost the same magnitude. Although that relationship, it broke out in October because most of inflation was no longer due to money supply, but because of adverse inflation expectations. And normally when you have got adverse inflation expectations, the only way of dealing with those is very simple. Policymakers, they only need to show commitment and track record, and the public, they just need to believe. Then once that happens, so those three conditions, commitment, track record, and the public must believe, which is confidence, then you'll be able to anchor adverse inflation expectations without doing anything. So it's not about fundamentals, but it's because of confidence. So once confidence improves, we hope that prices will automatically go down. Then on the next slide, just looking at the trend in terms of deposits, you find that our deposits, they are going up, which means the economy is not in a bad shape as we think, because if you look at that trend, deposits are still going up. If you look at credit to private sector, you find that it's still fairly constant, and again, you see that it's not a pointer to say the economy is not performing very well. So we are still on the right track, we are still doing very well as an economy. Then let me now look briefly at our recent monetary policy. Just to explain, not necessarily to go into the monetary policy per se, but just to explain some of the objectives in terms of what was our thinking when we came up with the monetary policy measure. So the first objective of our monetary policy was to establish an interbank foreign exchange market to restore competitiveness and promote growth. So we're coming from a situation whereby the one-to-one relationship exchange rate was no longer sustainable. So we noted that exporters were losing because they were selling their proceeds at an exchange rate of 1-to-1 when the parallel market exchange rate had moved. So we thought that in order for us to promote competitiveness, we thought of coming up with this interbank foreign exchange market, which trades on a willing seller, willing buyer basis, so that exporters will be able to get their full value of their export proceeds. Then another objective was to correct the price distortions in the foreign exchange as well as goods market. So again, the interbank foreign exchange market came in as a way of correcting those distortions where we're witnessing wide differences between the official exchange rate and the parallel exchange rate. Then another objective was to strengthen the demand for domestic forms of payment and to preserve foreign currency for external payments. We have seen on that chart that we're worried about pricing of goods and services in the US dollar. So we said, let's introduce this RTGS dollar so that if we make it a unit of account, official settlement account, and so on, then we will then strengthen this demand, because if people are using that and you only reserve foreign currency for external payments. So our understanding from that policy perspective was to say, if all economic agents are now using the RTGS dollar, then we relieve pressure on the demand for foreign currency for domestic transactions. Because if everyone is demanding foreign currency, even for paying for tomatoes, I know the usual example, which was even for paying for majanje and so on, those things which are produced locally, there is no need to use foreign currency for such things. But foreign currency must be used mainly for settlement of external transactions. So we thought that by introducing the RTGS dollar, we'll be able to achieve that objective. And also to improve export competitiveness. I think I've talked about that. So in terms of the expected benefits, our understanding was that the establishment of the interbank foreign exchange market was to allow efficient allocation of foreign currency, and also to improve supply of foreign exchange, and to restore export competitiveness, and to eliminate market distortions that we're witnessing in the country. Specifically, the formal and widespread use of RTGS dollars as a unit of account, we understand that ultimately it will eliminate the multiple pricing and other distortions that we are witnessing. So we still have that scenario where we still have some multiple pricing and so on, but we believe that the multiple pricing system will die a natural death. As confidence improves, it will simply go away on its own. So we are only working on confidence building measures, and we hope that as confidence improves, then the multiple pricing system will naturally die. Then in terms of the interbank foreign exchange market, we are allowing market forces to take their place, and we are saying the Reserve Bank will only intervene in cases of market failures and other malpractices that may harm price and financial stability. So we are trying to allow market forces to operate, although we still have that difference between the official and the parallel. And that difference, is for obvious reasons, because the parallel market, is riskier for you to trade in the parallel market. So the rate is higher there because people are being remunerated for taking risk. Remember, there is a 10-year jail for participating on the parallel market. So normally the parallel market is always higher, even in other jurisdictions. The parallel market is always there. It's not only in Zimbabwe where we have the parallel market. Even in all other jurisdictions, even in South Africa, there is a parallel market exchange rate. But the only thing is the gap between the official and the parallel. Maybe in our case is too wide, but we hope that going forward, as exports improves, that wide gap will be reduced. Next slide. Then, in terms of other measures that we have taken, as I have highlighted, we are implementing a liquidity management framework where we are targeting money supply growth of around 10%. So it is on the understanding that if we pin down money supply growth to around 10%, we will be able to reduce inflation significantly to around that figure going forward, because of that close relationship between money supply growth and inflation. So we hope that if we are able to reduce money supply significantly to that level, then we will also be able to pin down inflation. Then on the financial front, we are also adopting international best practice in terms of what is called macro-prudential policy framework to try and achieve financial stability. And we have been doing very well in terms of financial stability in this economy. Then going forward now, the next slide. Remember, I have started with the nowcast. That is where we are now. But going forward, I think you've skipped one slide. I don't know why it's not coming. But I wanted to show you what we expect in terms of inflation going forward. That in the last quarter of the year, we expect inflation to significantly go down. I think the graph is refusing to come. Then the next slide, we hope that going forward, foreign currency is going to improve as exports improves, and this is supported by increased gold deliveries to fidelity printers and refiners, and also now we are now witnessing that even in terms of tobacco deliveries, they are now improving, unlike when we started activity was very low. So we hope that going forward, foreign currency generation is also going to improve. And this is shown in the next graph that I've put there in terms of gold deliveries to fidelity printers and refineries. You can see that between October and January, the deliveries were subdued. And it is this time when people were still trying to understand some of the policies. But what we are witnessing now, if you look at starting February, March, we see that gold deliveries are now picking up, and we hope that going forward, if this picture is maintained, we are also going to increase our foreign currency generation. Then, in terms of my conclusion, I will conclude by saying the road to prosperity is certain if we all work together as a country to achieve it. So it means that for us to prosper as a nation, this roadmap requires one vision and working together of all stakeholders in the country. Then it requires fair business and pricing practices, because we are worried that the current pricing dynamics are not fair, especially to the consumers, where I think it's now a chorus where we are saying this benchmarking of all prices to the payroll rate or the exchange rate is not sustainable, because some of the goods are not imported, some of the goods are produced domestically, but we are having a situation where all prices are being benchmarked to the US dollar. But at the same time, salaries have not responded to that much. So you find those who are benchmarking to movements in exchange rate, but they are not benchmarking salaries and wages to movements in exchange rate. So it's sort of like an unfair business practices. Of course, in terms of imported goods, yes, when the exchange rate moves, we expect maybe their costs to go up as well. But for those goods which are produced domestically, we don't expect such benchmarking of prices to parallel market exchange rates. So we are saying for prosperity to occur in this country, it also requires the elimination of this speculative, arbitrage and rent-seeking behavior which we are witnessing in the economy. Then it also requires successful re-engagement with the international community. And as I've highlighted, government is taking strong measures to try and re-engage with the international community, to try and re-engage with the IMF, the World Bank, so that we'll be able to unlock the much needed financing, which has been a binding constraint to sustain economic growth in the country. Then, as Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, it is our assurance that we are working together with government to ensure that foreign currency is made available for importation of basic commodities and to ensure macroeconomic stability. And I think we must applaud us that we have been trying our best as Reserve Bank to ensure that basic commodities are available, to ensure that fuel is available. You know, people are using RTGS dollars to buy fuel smoothly and so on. So I think it's something that we must applaud us as government, as Reserve Bank, that we are doing very well, and going forward, the road to prosperity is certain. I thank you.
Well, another round of applause.